Hello everybody, welcome to my EAT portfolio. I'm Tsan, a Year 1 student studying at the Associate Degree of Science in Construction Engineering and Management of City University of Hong Kong. Here I'm going to share with you my work done in the past few days during the practical training in the Industrial Center of the Polytechnic University of Hong Kong, starting from the 15th of May to the 23rd of May 2012. On the first day of the training, the tutor introduced to us some tools and equipment usually used in formwork and demonstrated some of them to us. Then we were asked to do a task of making an open-ended cube. We had to make some lines to facilitate the cutting. We used a saw to cut the wood into several pieces manually and fasten them by nails. Use a hammer to strike the nails to fix the woods. Finally, the cube is finished. Then in the afternoon, we had to make a formula of the eye-shaped beam. We first used a dimension circular saw to cut the wood plate into designated size. Remember to push the wood towards the saw using a saw back. Place the finished wood surrounding the kick of the formwork. Tighten it by tie bolt. Then the formwork is finished. On the second day, the tutor introduced some instruments such as grinder, cutting machines, drilling machines, and weighting machines, etc., and demonstrate them to us how to use them properly. There are many non-destructive tags on steel, and one of them is drying penetrate tags, and red color is appeared on the floor areas as the dyeing is absorbed. In the afternoon, we had to do a diagonal steel plate support on the table. We first used a cutting machine to separate the plate. Then we had to locate a point by marking a cross on the plate. Drill the plate on that point and on the table using a drilling machine, and fasten the plate into the table by bolts. On third and fourth days of the training, we were asked to make 4 sets of concrete cubes of different proportions of the concrete ingredients. We weighted a suitable amount of batching materials using electronic balance. Then we mixed the ingredients together and stirred them completely. Poured the fresh concrete into a 150 millimeter cube mold and wait for the hardening of concrete. Remember to tamp the concrete during the process to strengthen the strength of concrete. After 1 day, 4 cubes had become harder. We did the concrete cube strength test using the compression testing machines and saw the failure shape of those concrete. Apart from that, we had to pour fresh concrete on the framework. That we did on the first day of the training. We used a portable hydraulic steel bar cutter to cut the steel bars. Then we used the manually steel bar bending machine to bend the rods to obtain the suitable shape of the reinforcement bar. We used the fixing iron hod to fasten the connections of bars. We did some calculation and weighed the appropriate amount of batching materials including cement, sand, fine and coarse aggregate, as well as water in a suitable amount of proportion. Then we mixed them in the tilting mixer so that the fresh concrete can be mixed completely. Before the pouring of fresh concrete, we did a slump test to check the workability of the fresh concrete. After that, we poured them into the mold and used the poker vibrator to remove voids or air bubbles inside. 1 day later, we removed the formwork, and the tutor explained some phenomena of the concrete to us. Moreover, we learned how to do the reinforcement of a beam. Firstly, we were taught how to bend a steel bar into a rectangle shape, following the instructions on the whiteboard. We measured the distance of the proportion of the steel bar to ensure that the bending is correct. Then we used those shear lengths, or called stir up, as the shear reinforcement of the beam. We used the fixing iron hook to tighten the steel bar between the main reinforcement and the shear reinforcement. Make sure that the thin metal wire is tight, and place some spacer blocks on the shear length to obtain a suitable concrete cover. Finally, the shear reinforcement of the beam is finished. On the last day of the training, the tutor first talked about the difference between the scaffolding and falsework, and their corresponding components such as ledger and stamford. The teacher also demonstrated to us the construction procedures of a simple falsework. Then in the afternoon, we have to did a task of building a falsework. We had to build stamford, ledger, and diagonal basings, etc. with the help of spirit level and span, etc. Then, several students have to build and install other components of the falsework in height. So, they have to wear safety bolts and link the belt to an independent live wire. They help installing the diagonal bracing and other components, such as top jack. Finally, the entire falsework is finished. After the training, I learned a lot of professional techniques about the construction industry. Also, it's broadened my horizons, as I can come across with many interesting construction procedures. Before the training, I just thought that this industry is boring and there's a little professional skills in this trade. But after the trainings, it changed my mind. Also, as we have to form groups in many tasks, it strengthened my teamwork and improved my interpersonal skills. In fact, my relationship with classmates has become better than that of before.